My goodness, welcome to the 7-day reset 2025. We started doing this shortly after COVID, I believe, and we've done so many of them.
Hmm.
And they've been such a success with Laura and Julia and I. And there's been a little gap, and we've been missing it. It's been a couple years since we haven't done one of these mind-body resets,
Hmm.
and I absolutely love them. It's a gathering of beautiful energy and magic. It's a cleanse and reset and detox for your body, mind, and soul. And I do this, and I'm sure Laura too, at exactly the time that I want it to for my body. So these resets are very authentic and very real as we are going through these mind-body resets ourselves.
Hmm.
So my name is Karrie Gregson, and I've actually been doing these cleanses and resets for 17 years now. I started with these products 17 years ago. And within that time, well, in 2013, I ended up moving to Europe and I was not able to really get the products.
Hmm.
But this is how you know something's good. I went to the end of the earth to get them. So I would have my hiking clients to stuff them in their backpacks and bring them over to me because I couldn't order them here. My body was wanting it, craving it.
Hmm.
And and I've been doing that for 17 years. And I myself have been in the fitness industry now 35 years. So I've been teaching fitness for 35 years. It's hard to believe I'm saying that, 35 years. Teaching fitness, all different types of classes, personal trainer most of my life. And just recently in the last 5 years, 5, 6 years, became a life coach, a master life coach. And I offer breath work as well as inner child and deeper transformations over the course of 12 weeks to 6 months. And included with that is I bring people into the mountains where amazing transformation can occur as we are nature. So I believe the biggest powerful transformative power is in nature. So as an
Hmm.
adventure guide and an adventure coach, I blend them both and guide people on tours through the mountains all through Europe. And I also teach yoga. So these products came to me, like I said, 17 years ago. And as an athlete, I have already really watched what I ate and took care of my body, slept well, did all the right things, and was actually pretty lean and very fit at the time. So I didn't really see the what I needed here in in this program, right? And then shortly thereafter, I learned what I did need. So ever since 17 years, I've been taking it. My body needs it as an athlete, and not just as an athlete, as a human being to function clearer, to have my mind clear, to help me
Hmm.
perform better. And my body's telling me I need it. So
Yeah.
I could go on. I mean, as far as how this has helped me, it's the biggest thing I think that has helped me in this are the adaptogens. And that is the botanical herbs and plants that help my body adapt to stress. So that can
Hmm.
be mental stress, that can be physical stress from performing, being an athlete. So I've noticed the biggest difference through the adaptogens, and they're loaded in this program.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I would say I bring it everywhere with me on the mountain. I bring it I use it for racing. I use it day to day for working to have mental clarity, to have the energy. Um, we all in this day and age, there's a lot of nutrients that are missing from our foods.
Yeah.
And this to me um, fills in the gaps, fills in the gaps. So many people have their cupboards full of supplements of this and that and that and that. What I find here is that it's all in one.
Yeah.
I don't take I don't take a bunch of supplements. I take my shake, I take my adaptogens, and not so much more. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel filled up because it's a big bang for your buck. It's very concentrated and
Mm-hmm.
it delivers. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to leave it at that. It's helped me immensely, and here I am 17 years later, helping Laura to do a mind body reset. Because before I throw it over to Laura, I just want to emphasize this reset is not about just detoxing and leaning out. And it's spring is a traditional time of year to do a detox. This is also to for the mental clarity, like to be able to perform better in your
Mm-hmm.
life, at work, in your relationships, for better sleep, deeper sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think almost everybody out there can say, I could have better sleep, or
Mm-hmm.
that's a common problem. And also a big one is the emotional regulation,
Yeah,
is helping our bodies deal with stress and helping our bodies react differently to stress. Yes, through a cleansing detox program, that happens.
for sure.
It's just our temperament is different.
Mm-hmm.
We're just we're grounded more. But those things we can go more into once we're in the program, but that's kind of a general run through. So I'm going to throw it over to my good friend Laura Bear
Yay.
to
Oh, I
share
just love you and
your
I love your
story with
story.
this to us.
Yeah, there's a few things you had mentioned that are the similar to me. I remember when I was traveling through Colombia and everywhere, I had my suitcase packed with stuff. And then when I lived in Colombia for a little bit, I actually had it shipped to the States and then a third-party shipper to Colombia to make sure that I
Yeah,
still had
I
my
did the
stuff.
third party thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I ran out once when I was in Colombia, and oh my gosh, did I ever notice a difference in my energy levels? It was
Mhm.
insane. And even now, for those of you who don't know, I have a 1-year-old daughter, just over 1 years now. So when I was pregnant and when I was breastfeeding in the beginning, I kind of stopped taking some of the herbal supplements just because obviously they don't test this stuff on like pregnant women or when you're breastfeeding. So they recommend not to. So I
Mhm.
just kind of like stopped using them for a little bit and I started using them again. And I've noticed such a big difference again in the way that I feel. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to be doing the reset as well because I haven't done a cleanse in probably a couple of years now.
Oh,
And
oh,
I,
well.
because, well, I think it must be a couple of years because I was 9 months pregnant and Lily's over a year, right? So
Right, right,
it
right,
would have
right. Yeah,
been.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like my body just needs it. I'm feeling like the brain fog. And I know people a lot of the time cough it up to mom brain, but I also don't believe that. I think that there's a lot of reasons why moms have those brains. And obviously, this isn't going to fix everything to do with mom brain, because I mean, coming into motherhood is a big kind of transition, but it's definitely a big kind of help. So when I first got started with Isagenix, it was in 2016. So I'm in my ninth year now with using the products, which is crazy. And I was working as a paramedic and just very busy with shift work. And I've always been very active, very athletic and doing sports and eating healthy. And I've always been very interested in the human body and science and stuff like that. And my mom was using the products, and I was just feeling kind of like very irritable and also had a lot of like inflammation on my body. And just kind of like you could see it on my face. Like when you see, I remember in my first 30 days, Carrie, I remember like losing like half an inch off of my neck when I did my measurements. Like it was in the weirdest
Yeah.
spots. And you could see
Well,
it like visibly.
inflammation. Like you can see it, you can feel it in you.
Yeah,
And that's when once you do the cleanse, you can tell, aha, that was inflammation.
totally. Yeah.
It-
It's not
Yeah.
always just fat. So it's not always just for like losing fat. It really is like the inflammation piece, I think, is a big thing because the inflammation on our body, that's also the inflammation in our brain, which is what causes brain fog, which is crazy to think that it's inflammation in the brain that's causing this. And a lot of us are just kind of going about our days just thinking it's normal, which it doesn't have to be. So when I started using them, it just kind of became a part of my lifestyle. I mean, the convenience was there for me. I felt a lot better. And like you said, I could kind of have it's more simplified.
Yeah.
And I remember going to an event and they kind of explained like the three core products. So there's like the detoxes, which is with the cleanse, which we're going to go into more into the products. But with the cleanse, it helps your liver and your kidneys to detox some of the heavy metals, some of the toxins that get stored into our body, into our fat cells, which causes the inflammation. And I mean, toxins are everywhere. They're in the air that we breathe, they're in the water that we drink, they're in the food, with the soil being depleted as well, just from over farming and not putting the nutrients back into the soil, then we just don't get the same nutrients back in. So I really loved how it was very like systemized. So the cleanse was to help release the toxins, which then helped
Mhm.
with inflammation. The cleanse for life, or sorry, the adaptogens then help with the stress. So our
Yeah.
everyday stress, which we live in a society that's very fast paced, and there's a lot of expectations and things that we have to keep up with. So I mean, the stress and the pressure is kind of inevitable. So it really helps our bodies to balance that piece out, which then also helps with reducing inflammation in our bodies. And then the shakes, because they are liquid, and I remember somebody explained this to me as well, that in the hospitals, like you get IVs, right? You can give nutrients and stuff through IVs, which is obviously the best way to get nutrients into your body because it doesn't have to go through your liver and kidneys. It kind of gets right into the bloodstream. But then when
Mhm.
you put things in liquid form, when it's condensed, your body can actually take it in and absorb it. So even if you are eating solid foods, then you're just not going to absorb as much, just the way that it has to go into your body. It gets a lot of it, the stuff we lose through our digestive system. So it doesn't actually get put into our bodies. So I
Mhm.
really love that aspect where it was like the shakes were like the liquid form. It was very high dense nutrients and a broad variety of nutrients as well. I mean, like what's in those shakes, I would not go to the grocery store and buy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like with those three kind of pieces of like cleansing the body, helping with stress, and then putting in the good nutrients. Because once you release the inflammation, your body can actually absorb all of the nutrients a lot better. So to me, it
Yeah.
just made sense, like from like a scientific level of like why it actually helped the body. And that's why I think why so many people get such great benefits with it. So, I mean, like you, I could kind of go on for days about this stuff. So we'll kind of keep that short, but that's kind of my story. I've been using it through many transitions in my lives for like when I was working as a paramedic, when I transitioned out of it into holistic healthcare. I guess now to share for those of you who don't know me, I'm an energetic alignment coach. So I work with a modality called the spiral, which is emotional clearing. And then also a yoga instructor, and I do meditations and breath work and a whole bunch of fun stuff similar to Karrie. And then also partnering with Karrie on one of the adventure tours this
Woohoo!
coming up this summer, which I'm super stoked about. So we're happy to be back here for another Mind Body Reset.
Oh
And
my goodness, are we?
yeah, so if you're excited to learn more about these products, we're going to kind of go through a little, they've got like, what would you call it? Like a magazine type thing
Yeah.
that goes through
Like
all
a
of the different
lookbook type
products.
thing.
hmm So we're going to kind of skim through that and just share with you the pieces that we would like to share just specifically for the Mind Body Reset. And then we were thinking we might do some other smaller videos to kind of go a little bit more in depth into some of the other products because there is quite a big catalog and there's lots of different things that can help us for various different avenues of our health because we all have different goals. So it's
Mhm.
obviously we've got the general stuff we're going to go into, and then we'll go into some deeper wormholes later. But if you have any
Mhm.
questions, obviously throughout this, and feel free to throw them below. I'm going to share this here. So I'll kick it back to you, Karrie, if you'd like,
Yeah.
and we can start going through
Yeah.
this.
So as you see with this book, there's a lot we can go into, but we're just going to talk about the basic, like why would someone do a program like this? And because there's so much information out there and there's so many different types of detoxes and cleanses.
Mhm,
Whatever you're attracted to. But just like Laura and I shared, this is our experience. And I've been doing it for 17 years, Laura, 9 years. Like there's something here that's potent. There's
mhm,
something here that agrees with our body. And a good way to put this as a whole is this is a well-being program. This is like Eastern world medicine meets Western world convenience.
mhm,
And we all want things fast. We want to be healthy, but we want things fast. So this program has created that, put in the most dense nutrition and nutrients that our body needs in a tasty format And like Laura said, there's a lot of in liquid format where like the most of the 4 to 5 main ingredients are that where our body can absorb very quickly, right? And doing this program because it's well-being is basically for anyone, if you relate it to any of our stories here or a high amount of stress, this is for anyone. And for someone that wants weight loss, automatically when your body gets back into balance, the weight loss
Hmm.
is going to be there.
Yeah.
And I've had some people do this program because they needed lean muscle gain. Some people do it for those reasons as
Hmm.
well. So it's very adaptable to your personal goal, but the one common thread is well-being, feeling better, sleeping better, thinking better,
Hmm.
um, reacting better. So that's what we're talking about well-being here. This is the gist of this, but it has many branches to adapt to what you need. So it's very personal to you. And you can see that here. It's choosing your own path. It's choosing your own products and it's keeping it very simple because we all want simple.
Hmm. We kind of already went over that, so we'll just
Yeah.
skip on past that.
So, I mean, there are lots of packs, but the one pack that we focus on mostly is the 30-day reset. And so in the mind body reset, we are doing basically the first 7 days, which is the most important to kick you off right, to set you off. It's like to catapult you into this program. Now, this is a type of program that you can do pretty much all year round. It's not
Hmm.
something so intensely restrictive that you can only do it for a certain period of time and then you're done. Then you can't wait to be eating. So this program, you are eating and you're eating healthy and clean every day, but the 30-day reset has it all lined up for you. Very simple. Um, you have whole meal shake days and you have cleansing days. And with this reset, we typically do the first 2 days are getting your body ready to be able to experience a deep cleansing, which will be 1 or 2 days, which we will guide you through in the 7-day reset, like intimately, personally, and been doing yoga on those days. So we're guiding you as well as other people doing it at the same time. But the 30-day, we highly recommend doing the full 30 days to give your body the full experience.
Hmm.
7 day is also great. I mean, for sure. And that's why we're choosing the 7 days because that's going to make an impact as well. But without getting too in detail about the 30-day reset, it has everything in there you need. You would just, on the outside of that, be eating healthy, whole food, good quality proteins, good quality fats. Generally, it's a 40-30-30 split as far as nutrients, 40 carb, 30 protein, 30 fat, approximate. But the 30-day reset adapts to any eating lifestyles. So if you're
Hmm.
more leaning towards keto, you can set it for that. If you're a vegan, you can set it for that, as we have um, vegan shakes as well. So it's very, very adaptable and very simple.
Hmm.
And as you see on the right side of this screen, um, proven when you do the program, this is after 12 weeks, the results here, right? The 20% reduction of fat mass, 33% of visceral abdominal fat. So this is the main thing with cleansing and detox. The first place you notice it is around the middle. And that's where, as Laura was saying, when the toxins are removed from the body, from the fat cells, then the fat disappears.
Hmm.
But if we're just losing weight, generally it doesn't happen like that.
Hmm.
That's why people see it mostly in the middle at first.
Yeah. And that's like the stubborn fat as well that a lot of people say they can't get rid of. And it's because they're not doing the nutritionally supported cleansing and the detoxing, because that's really what keeps those fat cells there is because the toxins live in the fat cells. So that's why it stays kind of in that stomach area. So if you are having that stubborn stomach fat, then that could be a big reason why it's sitting there. And I do want to mention as well, along with that, there are a lot of emotional kind of reasons why we hold safety on an emotional level as well. So um, there's
Yes.
many layers to kind of humans. So there's lots of kind of things we can explore if you are having that struggle.
That's why it's so exciting as Laura and I, the everything else we do to support you
Hmm.
in this container, because as you're doing a cleanse, it's a physical thing, but there's other things happening in the body as you're releasing. And that's
Hmm.
why we're giving yoga options and breath work and other activities, because we know those things come up and those are important things to do as you're cleansing,
Hmm.
because it can be an emotional journey. It can be challenging sometimes for that reason,
Yeah.
right? It's so integrated. And I
Hmm.
wanted to bring, you were saying about the nutrients. Um, what's an important thing here is that people see an increase in lean muscle mass
Yeah.
while even doing cleanse days. And that's an important factor because a lot of people believe if they don't eat, especially men or people that are afraid they're going to lose muscle, would say, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't go less on my food for a day or two because I'm going to lose muscle mass." That's incorrect.
Hmm.
In fact, you're going to increase your human growth hormone, especially
Hmm.
on a second detox day. So if you add a second day, um, you can release much higher levels of HGH compared to doing
Hmm.
the first day. And many people
Yeah.
train hard in the weight room during a cleanse when they're not eating bulk food. They're getting nutrients, but they're not
Hmm.
eating bulk food. So
Yeah.
that's an important piece to add in here that I don't see anywhere else
Hmm.
is the lean muscle mass maintenance.
Yeah. And the energy on cleanse days is insane. It's about 40% of your energy that goes toward digesting in a day. So when you don't digest, you have 40% more energy to put toward other things. So I was the same way. I'd be working out on a cleanse day. And I actually normally when I cleanse, I have trouble sleeping that night as well because I just have like so much energy that I mean, I don't need to sleep as much on those nights. It's
Yeah,
wild.
and it's funny when I sleep very deep, like ultra deep.
Mm,
I don't feel like I need to go to sleep, but it's the once you're
really deep
sleeping,
sleep.
it's very deep,
Hmm.
very deep. And
Yeah.
I find a lot of people end up, cleaning their house.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And you'll notice on your cleanse days how many times you impulsively go to open up the fridge when you're actually not hungry. I would always do
Let's
that. I'm
say,
like, damn it. Just impulsive.
Carrie, is it normal for me to like vacuum the house 2 times through? It's like,
Yeah.
what is all this energy?
Yeah. And for this too, I do also want to say like a lot of the stuff with the way that this program works, it goes a lot against what we have known or what we have generically been taught about nutrition and well-being. Like a lot
Mhm.
of diet culture is completely opposite of this. So it's if it seems unintuitive to you at first or complicated, just actually like with the way that it's simplified, it may, but you'll totally catch on. And once your body is full with those nutrients, like your body's just going to feel so good. And it will
Yeah.
just feel so natural to you to follow something like this, which is why Karrie and I have been using these products for so long.
Mm.
So we'll switch this up.
Mhm.
See what we've got next. Some of the transformations. So some of these people in here, so you can kind of see how different everybody's body is on here. Like it really is for everybody. And I also want to point out my mom's right here, June. So she started the program a little bit before me. And she was just kind of in a little bit of a funk in her life. She was struggling with some depression and in some transitions with work. And also, that was right after me, my brother, and my sister had all left the house. So she was kind of going through like the empty nester, where she kind of had the little dip in her motivation and stuff. And she came across Isagenix. And obviously, you can see in the second one, she got into Isagenix in her 50s. And she looks better now and feels better now than she ever has in her life, even when she was younger before children. So it's completely amazing. And then Joe here is a friend of ours as well, who used Isagenix for muscle gain and also for mental and emotional well-being as well. I know Joe struggled with some addiction stuff. And the program and the community also helped him a lot with that. And then Jackie right here as well is another friend of mine. She was postpartum from her second daughter when she got started with Isagenix, and it completely changed her world as well. So
Hmm.
it's definitely very powerful, the transformations. Do you want to go into the shakes, Karrie, or do you want to just kind of skip through this because we've already kind of touched on?
I think so. And just so you know, for your timing, it's 21/7, it's 3:17.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so
And
we'll just kind
I have an
of
appointment at 3:30 too. So
okay, perfect. Um, yeah,
I
so
think
you guys,
the cleanse is good, important to go through.
yeah, okay, sounds good. So we'll go through the cleanse. Did you want to go through it?
Sure, we can both, like just kind of like the last thing.
Hmm.
Um, so our cleanse days, a good way to describe it is exactly what they have here, reset to reignite, and that's exactly what it does. It's like the best way to describe it is like turning the light switch on that we didn't necessarily realize was off in the moment. It just turns all the light switches on. And the way to describe it here, it isn't a fad cleanse that you see on social media, like a lot of the things out there. This is fully nutritionally supported intermittent fasting. And it's like cleaning your workspace so you can focus on completing a big project. Really, it's like an inside clean job. It resets your system, it reignites you to work and perform more efficiently, which we all want, right? And when you combine one or two cleanse days with the system that fits your needs, the results, like it says, are transformative. So you can get the cleanse in powder or liquid, and you can do a 1 day or a 2 day cleanse, depending on the main reason you're doing this. But I always recommend to experience at least one time experience a 2 day cleanse. And what it's filled with here, three of the products, or three or four of the products, are the adaptogens. So the stress adapters are big key products in here. And as you can see, the botanicals in the ingredients here, the rhodiola, ashwagandha, is also part of the adaptogenic family. Turmeric to help you reduce inflammation, aloe vera as well. You can see all the different ingredients there. So it's so nutritionally supported. 1 glass of cleanse drink. So you're not eating anything, but you're flushing your
Hmm.
system with what it needs to gently cleanse. So this is a gentle cleanse. You're not, running to the bathroom and it's a very gentle cleanse that's
Hmm.
cleansing all your systems,
Yeah.
right? It's not just a liver cleanse, there's not just a kidney cleanse, it's touching all the major organs.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and it's a very simple routine to follow as you can keep busy. And, on work days, it's great to do it when you are busy. It's also fine to do it at home. Um, yeah, and we're here to support, 'cause especially if you've never done a cleanse day. Some people can feel, the hunger coming on, and I think it's a mental thing because you're used to having this and this and this at
Yeah.
the time. So the body goes, hey, this is the time we usually eat. So it's an opportunity to actually be with your body when you feel those sensations,
Hmm.
like you need to eat something instead of running to eat something. You get to learn, okay, actually, what is it? What does this actually feel? What is this actual hunger? Or is this how I react when this happens, this happens, this happens? So having a cleanse is a great opportunity to get to know yourself better,
Hmm.
deeper,
Hmm.
how you respond, what you need, but you actually don't need. And you really learn how the body needs so much less than you think,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, as
Like
a
it's like
society, what we're overfed, undernourished, right?
totally,
So it's like
totally.
that's why we a lot of the time we eat so much is because our body is telling us we're hungry because it's needing nutrients, but then we give it something and it's nutrient bankrupt. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, that didn't fill it. Okay, give me more, give me more, give me more. And we get into this like craze for food when really it's like when you really like have the micronutrients, which I know we didn't go into the shakes, but that's one of the trace minerals is one of the big things in the shakes that it covers, right? A lot of the time when you think about fitness, I know, remember when I started learning about macros, micros, stuff like that, it was a big focus on the macronutrients, right? The carbs, the fats, the proteins. But really, when you actually look at the micronutrients of all the stuff that Karrie's mentioning here, plus the trace minerals, that's actually what you want to be looking at because that's what really nourishes everything on the cellular level so that your body is happier and has less cravings and is wanting to have healthy food because you just feel so much better. You just naturally want to go to that food opposed to the cookies and
Mhm.
the treats, which is where I'm at right now. So I'm excited for the cleanse.
Well, when I think of this, because I remember in the early days, 2007, 8, 9, in the beginning, we would coach people very intensely
Yeah.
on the 30-day and very strictly. You
Hmm.
had to really keep this away, do this, it was very, very strict.
Yeah.
Um, and it's kind of changed. People can choose to do it the way they want, but
Yeah.
generally a cleanse is much better, very clean done, like on a
Yeah.
cleanse days where you don't really need to add any extra, a lot of snacks and things like that. You'll have a much better experience. But
Hmm.
coaching people for so many years with this, the number one thing I would hear people surprised about is them saying they're not even that hungry. Like,
Hmm.
shouldn't I be hungry now? And it's because they're flooding their body with nutrients. So their stomach might be
Hmm.
empty, but they're not actually the cravings, any craving for things fall away.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes their mental stuff comes up that, okay, I'm used to having this when I feel like
Hmm.
this, so I better go. And you can learn, guys, this is an opportunity to really work with yourself on a deeper level too, because on a cleanse day, because you're taking all the fluff away. And it can be challenging for people because of that.
Hmm.
And for other people, it's like they haven't had energy like that for a long time or mental
Yeah.
clarity.
Hmm.
So it's an opportunity to see how your body react. But I believe as a human being, we've been doing this for thousands of years, cleansing. Like it's
Hmm.
not a new thing,
Yeah.
right? Fasting is not a new thing.
No.
And we're just doing it the 2025 or the way to suit our lifestyle. But
Hmm.
it's definitely the human body is used um, to even go days without eating, or
Yeah.
they used to do festivals or rituals. Um, yeah, to fasting to really raise the mental clarity intensely after a
Hmm.
number of days. It really has you sharp, right? So it's
Yeah.
a real thing. It's a real thing.
Totally. Okay. So then the adaptogens. So Ionics, which is the major one that we were talking about. So some of the adaptogens in here, we have ashwagandha again, urethral root, goji berry, rhodiola, schizandra, and shilajit. And they all have different benefits to the body. So I love the Ionic Supreme because you can go to a normal store and just pick up ashwagandha. You can go to a normal store and just pick up
Yeah.
shilajit, right? But this is like a blend of, I think it's like over 15 to 20 different varying adaptogens, which all have different benefits on our body. So you really notice a difference when you take it. So you can either take like a little shot every single day, or you can have a powder that you mix in water, and you can either do it with warm water and it kind of makes like a little nice tea, or you can do it with cold water. So kind of however your preference is
This
for
is my
this.
most important product and the one I've taken for 17 years straight,
Yeah.
and amazing for sport and stress of sport. I
Yeah.
use this during sport. It's a lactic acid buffer, reducing the perception in the body of stress. I have this 3 times a day.
So
Yeah,
cool.
so I have about 2 to 3 bottles. So continue to. So
Hmm.
this is a must.
What is this? Scientifically validated. So scientific studies show that regular consumption of adaptogen elixir, which is the little, I actually got a box of these. They just had a promo where you get a free box. So I have a couple of these. I just had one before we got on here, but they're like little rose kombucha with the adaptogens in it. So after 4 weeks, participants noticed 34% decrease in stress response and 31% improved sleep quality, which is huge, like the decreased stress response, because when we are stressed, that's when we can be a lot reactive, which impacts our relationships, right? That's the biggest thing with that is that it helps to slow that down so we can respond more opposed to being so reactive and kind of jumpy in our relationships and our lives with what's happening.
Huge.
So there are snacks. The accelerator and the IsaFlush also come in the 30-day pack that we mentioned. The natural accelerator is a natural metabolism booster. So it has things like cayenne pepper, cinnamon, other various natural plant-based things to help boost metabolism. And then IsaFlush is a magnesium and herbal supplement that helps with digestion and also supports the natural detoxification process and also with fighting stress as well. So it's a really awesome one. Also for bowel regularity too. It works really great.
Beautiful.
And then we're going to skip through the beauty stuff. I think that's about it, eh, Karrie? Anything
I
else you
think
want to
so.
go
I have
through
to
here?
jump off, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's so much we can say about this.
Yeah.
But we're going to get into, there's all these other products like the amped products, like the E plus that are
Yeah.
great addition. But I think, and for athletes, so the main thing is to talk to Laura or I and create something that's very specific for you
Mhm.
and to do this reset as you've heard is for anyone, but you want to have the right one for you and the reason why you're here because they have it all to adapt it for you.
And we'll drop the link below so you guys can browse through this little catalog as well. And then if you have any questions, then let us know and just reach out to Karrie and I either in the comments or send us a message and we'll get you started to order your products as well. You'll want to make sure that you get them in time for the 22nd. So you will want to order them this week in order to get them on time for this. But if you're coming into the group after the 22nd, then you can order. And then we're going to have all of the daily activities kind of organized so that you can pop in and kind of still do your reset at any time that you're wanting to do it. Awesome. Anything else, Karrie?
I think that's it. I'm just so ready
Me
to press that
too.
button.
Yeah, me too. Woo woo. Awesome. Okay, well, we will see you on the next video and in the group.
See you
Thanks,
on the next.
Karrie. Okay.
Ciao.